Okay, I'm live. Hello, friends. Hello, happy Monday. So I was here, very inspired. I was going to write a post, and I thought, let me just come on here live and just speak it to you instead because it kind of got me thinking, and it's kind of a story I wanted to share with you. So this is like a message, really. If you have ever seen anyone do anything, or you've watched anything, unfold around you, and you have that little feeling, either, oh, I wish I could do that, or complete, like, not interested, kind of either end of those extremes. It's a really interesting thing because you never know what is around the corner for you, and you never know like why you're reacting the way that you're reacting. So I want to just share like a little experience that I had because I was thinking about it randomly. It came in today, and I wanted to share it with you. So back in the days when I was a lawyer, and I was very, black and white, did a 9 to 5, and it was, legal job is very kind of working within the lines. There's not much room for creativity. So back then, that was my life. And I was, I was living this kind of life anyway. And I still had that part of me that was, you might have heard me talk about it before. I was very aware of myself as a soul. I was very connected to those, parts of life. Hold on, sorry, I'm getting a message through, right? And so I used to, even though I was a lawyer and I was really good at it as well, but I was very immersed in that. In my free time, I used to buy copies of Spirit and Destiny magazine, which is like a real like full-on spiritual type of magazine, right? Some of you might know it. I think I don't know if it's just a UK one, I'm not sure, but it was a big magazine, and I used to buy it regularly, and I used to read it all the way through, or not fully. I used to read all the kind of as spiritual as you like, right? It's connected. I was already sold on past lives. I was born knowing that. And I used to flick through the magazine with a coffee, and I used to read and consume all of it. Every time I got to the page or story around anything to do with angels, I used to have this really, it's almost like an adverse reaction. I used to flick so quickly past anything related to anyone sharing angel messages, angel guidance, anything to do with angels. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like I was like against them, but I just had this like real skepticism around anything. I don't know. Obviously, I had some sort of line that I was comfortable with, and then anything past that line, we all have it, right? That it's a little bit too much. So back then, years ago, and I noticed, and I just remembered this today, how I used to flick past anything to do with angels. And I just used to think it was a step too far. And I used to think, how convenient. They're very like fluffy, angelic beings, who drop feathers in around us. And it was all very softy, softy. And back then, when I look back from now, where I'm at, I think it was because it was I guess it was more of the feminine energy and the softer, more nurturing parts and the energies that we can tap into. And back then I was full in like masculine mode. I needed to be in my job. And also that kind of transpired out into my personal life as well. So I was very like focused and driven, and I'm still like that now, but it's a different, there's a much better balance now, and I have both sides. So back then I was like really like anything angelic. I was like, no, 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 no. And fast forward to now, here I am as literally a channel for the high angelic realm. And I don't, I still find that really funny. I also channel the Arcturians as well, as some of you know. And I just wanted to share that with you because sometimes when we're going about on this life journey, it's really interesting either that we're either drawn to things. It might, because some of you will be looking at me channeling and other people and have this desire and wish that you could do that too. If you have that, there's something very significant there for you. It could be that you're really like, you're probably not watching this right now, but if you might just be watching from curiosity, you might, for example, enjoy my messages, but when it comes to me channeling the angelic realm or anyone else, it might just be a step too far and you're a bit skeptical. So just notice like where you are on the reactions spectrum. But I wanted to share that with you because between the version of me that was like flick past anything in the magazine to do with angels, to the version of me now that literally channels them. They're my divine team and I love them and I feel them every day, and I'm very honored and blessed and happy to channel those beautiful angelic energies. There was a path, of course, between previous me and current me. And how it happened for me was this kind of synchronistic, I always call it like a breadcrumb trail, where one thing led to another, one thing kind of led me into this. Of course, I had a massive like transformation, awakening, painful challenge, illness in 5 years. But on the other side of that, I started to go deeper. And it was funny. Typically what happens, right? We'll see someone online that will just pop up at the right time. And for me, it was Carrie Samuels. She does astrology and numerology, and she channels as well. And it was quite a few, probably 2014 or something. Yeah, 2014 it was. And she somehow sold me on this angelic audio something she was offering at the time, and I took it up. I think it was a 28-day you connect in with the angels, and it changed my whole perception. I felt different. That was the start of a very I guess another transformation for me in terms of the connection I have now. And so that kick-started me into, I could feel the magic of them, I could feel the love of them, not the way I do now, but it was definitely a starting point. And then from there I started to deepen into some of what I was allowing myself to connect with. And then over time, that whole journey just got stronger and stronger. And if you haven't read my book, wasn't planning on saying it, but just because it came up, I really do talk about that part of the journey in my book, Above and Beyond: Human Journey of Courage, Resilience, Transformation, Magic and Awakening. And I do go into detail around like that whole breadcrumb trail, because there was a whole path for me to take. Anyway, the reason I wanted to share this with you is because you never know. I never saw it coming. If someone had said to me back in 2013, 14 and before that, in the future you will no longer be a lawyer, Marie Fleming at the time, you will be a channel and a guide for people, and you'll work with them in this way, and you'll be channeling messages and activations and energies and doing all that work, and you'll be teaching people how to channel and connecting people with their teams and their guides. I swear to God, I would not have believed it. There would be nothing in my mind that could have believed that. I was so focused on being a lawyer. So I am a walking testament for anyone. If you want to change your trajectory, you can. If you want to change your life path, you can. If you want to connect deeper, you can. There is so much available for you, and it has nothing to do with your physical reality and your current experience. So I really just wanted to share that. I wanted to write a post, but I thought it was sometimes it doesn't translate in a post, and I just wanted to share that message. So I never saw it coming, and here I am. So a little message to you, and maybe it won't resonate with all of you, but if you're, if you feel pulled to something more, because this is going to happen more and more over the years, and we're on this trajectory now. If you're being called to a deeper spiritual practice, if you're being called to connect deeper into yourself or to your guides or to, divine energy around you, God, source, universe, we can attach any labels we want to that. If you really are feeling that, really pay attention, because there are so many ways to channel and connect, and it isn't just for the chosen few. I used to believe that. I used to really think that there were certain people that came in with a gift and lucky them. And what I know now from my own experience and my channeling and I'm kind of guided and taught every day now, is that every single one of us, even no matter what our past, our current situations, we are a higher consciousness in a human form, but we have the ability to connect. Of course we do. It's actually absurd that we think that we don't. That is just a human programming, and that's something we've been taught so heavily on this planet, that we're just in these human bodies and we come in and we have this one life and we die and we either go to heaven or hell, or we go into oblivion and that's it. That is so not true. There's so much more to us, and more of us are, I guess, remembering. We're being activated. We're starting to be called. More and more people, I'm seeing this, being called into something more. So I really want to encourage you to follow that, especially when you go through this. Usually you're not, you're lucky, you might be surrounded by people that get it, but most of us aren't. Most of us don't have family, friends who are on that exact same path. So we can feel very alienated on our own. We can start questioning ourselves, second guessing ourselves. Are we really making this up? Are we just woo woo and weird? Let's drop that word, woo woo. Let's just drop it and start to get into the real magic. We are so magical. You are so magical. I really want you to feel that. You are so magical. And if you want to connect, you can. And so, of course, you'll see in the description, wherever you're watching this, check it out. There's a link. I've been talking about it a lot recently, to High Level Channel International Training Academy. And just on that, it's about learning to channel and connect into your intuition, connect into your receiving mode, turn it on, open it up. And it's, you know, there's so many ways to channel it. Your channeling does not have to look like mine. It can be very your own unique way. I've already guided many people with that now. And so you can channel your own self, your higher self, your soul. You can channel God, universe, divine source, however you connect. You can channel different beings. You have ancestors, some of you have different guides from all over the universe, you know. It's colorful. There are so many guides. All of you have angels. Every single one of you listening, watching this, you all have a team of angels. Doesn't matter if you've never seen them or felt them. I'm told this all the time. Anyone that comes into my space, my team is so quick to get that message to them. You have angels. We all have access. So it's only whether or not we want to. And of course, you might not feel the call, but if you're watching this, it might be that there's something here for you. So just know that it's here. So I invite you into High Level Channel International Training Academy if that feels like for you. And if it isn't, just, you know, stick around. I'm going to be talking a lot more about everything, as I always do, especially here on this page. Yeah, and just stay open and, you know, start to ask. You can just set your intention. I want to connect. I want to open. I want to dive deeper into that connection that I have, and start to look, because our guides do give us synchronistic messages. And, you know, so despite me being very skeptical of this back in, you know, pre 2013, yeah, pre 2013, where I would just avoid anything to do with angels. Here I am channeling the high angelic realm. So you never know what magic is around the corner for you. So happy Monday. I send you lots of love whenever you're watching this. And yes, drop me a comment here if you're watching the replay, or whenever you find your way to this, if you want to share anything. Let me know how you feel about it if you wish. Okay, lots of love. Have a great rest of your day.